Hi, we're here to talk to Andy Widdop, Blues Director of Rugby, and last training session tonight before the Pontypool and Oxford Harlequins matches. What are you going to be focusing on tonight at training?
Well, tonight, obviously, we're going to make our first announcement of our first squad of the season. We made a promise to the players right at the beginning that they would know on a Thursday night who was in the squad, which squad they were in, and then what positions they were playing. So that's our first time we've got to do that. And with that will no doubt come the job of going around and obviously telling those that aren't in the squad why they perhaps aren't in the squad. Hopefully everybody wants to be in it, and so there's going to be a lot of disappointed people, and we'll have to tell them why that's not happened. But obviously, as you've mentioned, we've got a game against Oxford Harlequins on Tuesday, so the opportunity to put those guys out on the Tuesday will be there. But we're just going to announce a Saturday squad tonight. Once we've done that, we will still train as a big group because there is still lots of games to prepare for. But towards the end, Saturday's squad will split away and perhaps do some team runs just to get some ideas of patterns that they play, and then the other guys can act as some sort of semi-opposed opposition. We certainly don't want to be going too heavy on contact now. Last thing we want is somebody to pick up an injury before Saturday.
Okay, and are you in a position to tell us who's going to be in the squad on Saturday?
Yes, obviously we haven't told the players yet, but I know that this won't go out until after we've told them. The squad is going to comprise of, I'll just read out that we're going to go with 25. Pontypool are bringing 25 down as well. Some names you'll recognise, others are new. But really the squad will be Robbie Arthur, Ali Widdop, Matt Oliver, Andy Cannock, Ben West, Greg Price, Chris Thompson, John, hope I spell the surname, pronounce the surname right, Juta, Nathan Thomas, Tom Bax, Greg Palmer, Jack Sawbridge, Dave Wells, Alex Day, Jack Avery, Lloyd Cole, Carl Buttle, Laurent Chaffrey, Martin Freeman, who will captain the side this weekend, Jamie Monger, Charlie Edwards, Will Clark, Ian Herriot, Dan Thorne and David Chulls. Now obviously that's all subject to them coming through tonight and not getting an injury, but that's the 25 that we'll put out over the weekend.
Okay, so as you say, a mixture of old and new names there. You've mentioned Lloyd Cole. We've announced him as a new signing this week. What can you tell us about Lloyd?
Well, Lloyd has come to us having played at Cambridge at the back end of last season. Stepped into them when a few players left Cambridge around the Christmas period, and they obviously needed a 10 to fill the gap, and Lloyd went to them having been at Esher and prior to that with Harlequins Academy. So he's clearly got a good track record. When he played against us here on that April evening, Wednesday evening I think it was, he did quite well. We played quite well in the first half, but the Cambridge side really got their tails up in the second half and we really didn't see the ball, and Lloyd was getting some good reports through that second half of the season. He's no older than the rest of the team. He's 22 years old. He likes to take the ball on, but he's a good distributor and kicks well. So we're quite excited by what Lloyd can bring. Having said that, Will Clark, who is also pressing for the 10 berth, has stepped up and as we've asked all the way through, is making it difficult to pick one against ahead of the other. So Lloyd's there, he'll do a good job, but we know that Clark is sniffing as well, so that's good.
Okay, do you want to talk briefly about any of the other names that you've just mentioned that perhaps aren't as familiar to supporters as some others?
Well, obviously, if we can start from the top, I mean, some of these boys have played for us before. We've talked about the development squad and how important it was to us last year, and how many actually came through from that particular team to ultimately play for the first team last year. And so some of those boys are part of that setup. Robbie Arthur played in the development. He's at Bath University at the moment, but he's gone very well in pre-season. Then we've got some Ben West, for instance, played for the first team towards the end of the season. Ben's still a Colt along with Jamie Monger. So, one of the things that we're trying to do at the club is show that there's progression from our junior section right the way into the first team. And obviously Ben and Jamie are currently qualified to play for the under-19s, but are at the moment, making a name for themselves in the first team. And then if you look at Alistair Widdop and Andy Cannock, Jack Avery, Nathan Thomas, they've all played for our Colts. Ian Herriott, Dan Thorne, Will Clark, David Wells. A good number of guys who've come through the Newbury system. Add to that other players that are obviously going to be with us around the university community. Charlie Edwards has impressed, who's playing at 15, but he can play at 9 or 10. We all know about Martin. So we're quite excited that it's a good mix of local boys. Oh, forgot to mention Greg Price, who will forgive me for that, who's also an ex-Colt. So we're quite excited by the fact that it's got people who have come through our own system and mixed them with people from around the area who I think will do a good job for us.
Okay, so Pontypool and Oxford Harlequins are both good sides. What are you hoping to get out of these two matches?
And we just want to see how the players play with each other. Yes, it's an opportunity for individuals to show us what they can do, but we all know that, cliche, rugby is a game of 15 players. If we all try to play as individuals, it's just not going to happen. So they need to play with each other. And so we just want to see how they go. If you were to ask any side in the country, right the way up to the Premiership, if they had that many changes from one season to another, they would be looking for how players perform rather than winning every game. It's going to be difficult for the first half of the season, probably, certainly the first half dozen games, when players just aren't used to playing with each other. There's going to be an element of frustration from them and probably an element of frustration from us in that we know what they can do. It's just making it all happen at the right time. So we'll just be looking to see how they compete against what will probably be a very physical and experienced Pontypool side, and then how they go against an Oxford Harlequins side who will probably come here determined to beat a side in the division above. So neither game will be easy. There's no question, and it'll be just how they perform in various phases of the game.
Okay, and we're hoping lots of supporters are going to come down. It's £3 to get in on Saturday against Pontypool, and I believe it's free to get in on Tuesday night against Oxford Harlequins.
Yeah, that's right. More the merrier. Hopefully the sun will be out, so those watching have a nice relaxing time, whereas those on the pitch will be getting hot and bothered. And hopefully we can start with a decent performance. People can go away feeling a bit excited about what's going to happen on the 4th September and obviously when we're here on the 11th September against Henley. But it will be hard work, so I've certainly asked people to get behind the boys, but also understand that it's work in progress, I suppose is the term they use.
Okay, thank you.